Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Hi, everyone. This is Chatting with Nat. This is Natalie Jeans and Nathalie Jean. Today we have the honor of having singer-songwriter, belly dancer, environmentalist, Inanna, I hope I said that right. Singer, belly dancer, environmentalist, and animal advocate of Italian origins, Inanna reinvents environmentalist music in an eco-alternative pop project dedicated to the earth and all its landscapes and life forms. Through mesmerizing, future-oriented pieces, her passion for nature, animals, alternative, and Middle Eastern music has given life to unique and gender-bending ethno-alternative sound. Inanna's mission is to deliver through enchanting soundscapes an innovative mixture of ancient and contemporary beats, a message of peace, environmentalism, respect for the earth and all Earthlings. Let's give her a round of applause. Hopefully
Audio Jungle.
Inanna, are you there?
Yes, I'm
here.
There? Thank you so much. Yes, I'm here. I can hear you.
Sorry for the glitch, because I used it on one computer, and then I tried it on another computer. Then I had to call in, so it must be a fluke, because it never happens this way.
No worries. I'm here now.
I'm glad that we're on. Just excuse my voice, because I'm sick. I went to the Grammys. I went to Las Vegas for the Grammys this past week, and it's just been kind of like hell. Come back.
I can imagine. So sorry about that. I hope you can recover soon.
Yeah, me too. I hope I said your name right.
Yes, it's Inanna.
Okay.
Yes, actually,
Inanna.
my real name is Annalisa, very Italian, of course. Inanna was
Right.
my chosen name for this project, and it's the name of an ancient Sumerian goddess, actually. And I just chose it, to represent this project because I thought, I'm going to talk about these huge topics, environment and the future of nature and animals. I felt that only a big name, like a goddess name could handle all these enormous issues,
Yeah, that's wonderful. So how have you been during this whole crazy past 2 to 3 years, elections, pandemics, George Floyd, climate change, all kinds of things going on in the world. So how have you been?
I've been very, very inspired, actually. I've been very productive. I moved to Los Angeles about 4 years ago, and 2 of them were in the middle of the pandemic. So, of course, it was a bit of a setback at the beginning because I also had to start meeting people and connecting. But at the same time, I had also just started this music project, this new environmentalist music project, and everything was there to begin and to build, and so I had all this time suddenly to concentrate so much on the music and on its message. So I was really productive. We made a lot of new music videos and lots of ideas. I wrote so much like never before, and also with everything that is happening in the world, not only because of the pandemic, but since the big, climate protests of 2019, I felt that was kind of a turning point, with Greta Thunberg and all the new movements. At that point, something really changed. So from there, so many artists and other people started to create a new movement altogether, and I felt I wanted to be part of that with what I do best, that in this case is lending my voice literally to nature. So it's been good. I mean, of course it's been very hard from a psychological point of view, and it's been tough not seeing people, and it's actually amazing in these days, going back to, normal here, at least in Los Angeles. It's really back to normal. Yesterday I was at a huge event with more than 800 people, and it was
Ooh.
amazing, and I could hug people. Yay.
Yeah, I know. The one thing that I can say about, well, there's plenty to say about the pandemic is that you realize that how important touch is, how important being around people is,
Oh yes.
how important friendship is. It's just it's wild.
Absolutely.
It's just so crazy. One of the questions that I like to ask everybody is this. We know that the pandemic was god awful. People lost lives. People lost family members. It just was horrible. I mean, people lost limbs and all that stuff. But there were some pros to it, in the sense time people to self-reflect. It gave time people to spend more time with family members. Like one of the things that I saw was, family members walking on the streets, together. And it's not something that you see often, especially in my neighborhood. There's just like, okay, I see something else is coming, is transpiring. I have colleagues that decided to cut back on work hours because they realized that they weren't spending enough time with family members. You have climate change. Obviously, we weren't in the streets, and the pollution level went down. And, the animals in the trees were like, oh, I hope these people don't come back, because it was, it was like a breath of fresh air for them. I read a lot of articles where people have decided to quit their jobs because they realize that, life is really, really short, and they want to do something that fulfills them rather than just do something that is about making money. And for artists, some people decided to rebrand, some people decided not to do music anymore. It was just very different perspectives, many different self-introspections. During this time, did you think about, obviously in your activism and environmentalism, did you think about how you want to go forward with that? Did you make any changes? What did you think about within that that you want to go forward with in the coming years?
Yeah, I think, regarding this project, it definitely stimulated me to go all the way, because even if the project started a little bit before the pandemic, because the first single was released in May 2019, so just some months before. But yeah, it absolutely made me realize, this is what I want to do. This is definitely my message. And now, of course, there can have been many causes to this pandemic, but, it's probably much more because we mess with nature all the time, and so we create these huge imbalances, So it simply told me, you're in the right path. This is what I want to talk about. This is my mission, and I want to do it through, of course, my lifestyle. I don't want to be perfect. I can't be perfect, but I'm going to do whatever I can to improve, my lifestyle, thinking of nature and thinking of the future, doing whatever I can to, have less impact. But I felt it wasn't enough somehow. I wanted to speak out, and I think it's very important in these times, at least from the people that can, because of course not everyone in the world has the privilege and the possibility to do the things that we do, or to eat like we do, or to change lifestyle like we can. But I think the people that can in these times, they really must. So I felt, okay, I will do those changes, and also I want to use my voice for it. I really, really want to give a voice to nature, the earth, and animals as much as I can, because if we are in this process of changing culture, we have to also do it from within. So music that can reach so many hearts, so many people, and documentary, poetry, arts are so important to change culture, to change lives, to leave a mark that can stay with you forever, So it really, like, the pandemic really made me feel, okay, this is this is what I what I want to do. When you're forced to stop, as you were saying, when you're forced to stop, you're forced to reflect and really think, what am I doing? What's my real purpose? So many things, so many people I know, they moved away from where they were living, and they decided to quit their job and do something else. I mean, it was very, very interesting. As you said, it's been really, really tragic, but at the same time, for so many people, enlightening, or simply understanding, okay, now that I have time to think about who I really want to be, what do I want to do with that,
Exactly. There was a lot of self-reflection. And what I noticed also is that people also with businesses, they decided there was more economical way of working from home. A lot of companies just decided, okay, no more office space, because they found it more conducive to have their businesses at home. So it opened a lot of things. The pandemic was definitely bad, but and other sides of it, we can see some good things that came out of it, because really people really needed to think about their life and the world itself. Now, how did you get involved in the music industry? What was it that you said, okay, music and Inanna, that's it? The combination has to come together, and you have to bring out your gifts to the world.
Yes, well, I started, doing music since I was very, very young, back in Italy. I'm Italian. I'm from Venice, so I don't remember a time when I was not singing or making music. I started very, very young, and then, when I was in Italy in my teens, I had this punk band with with other girls. It was an all-female punk band, yes. And then in my 20s, I actually moved to Spain. I moved to Barcelona, and I kept doing music. I had another band, and then I started singing, solo and with a project with an electronic producer over there, an incredible production, fantastic. And that made me understand that I could do something on my own, because before I always felt I needed the band, I needed support. And it took me many years actually to feel confident enough to write my own songs, because at the beginning I felt like, oh no, I'm only going to do covers. I just like singing, but I don't think I can do that. But after I started experimenting and it worked and other people liked it. So when I was in Barcelona, singing was one of my main things, and we did several concerts there. But when I moved here 4 years ago, it was, starting from zero for everything, like complete, clean slate, start again, new place, new friends, new work, new everything. And I felt that with the music, even if I had done so many wonderful things before and worked with so many great people, but at the same time, I felt that my voice in my music was not that clear, exactly because I had worked with others to make it happen. So when I came here, I felt, okay, I'm just going to try to do something on my own. I'm going to, try to be brave and open that logic and see what I can do on my own. And it was really incredible, because I tried to simply put all my ingredients, in a soup and see what happened. So I put my passion for, nature and the environment and the future, plus my love for alternative music, and my super passion for the Middle East and Egypt and belly dance, because I had started, teaching and dancing belly dance a long time ago, but it had been kind of separate all the time. Like the dancing and the music were two different worlds for me. But I had this idea, it kind of dawned on me, why can't I put it together? Why can't I try to experiment with it and see if it works? and it kind of worked. I felt like, oh, this is interesting. This is like some kind of new genre. At least I haven't heard anything like this before. And so it was really amazing to find something that really represented me 100% with all these different, aspects of it. And yeah, music has always been there, and it keeps being there. I want it to be there for the rest of my life. I don't know how it will evolve, but I know that right now, at least I found why I'm doing it. Like before, it was just, this form of expressing myself and maybe more like introspective or expression of, frustrations or but now I feel I really found my way of building something, like creating something for the future in a small scale or bigger scale. Who knows what will happen, but at least I know that I found my purpose in the music now.
That's awesome, because people are always trying to find their purpose in the music. Now, how important is it for you to be authentic in your music and songwriting in your life?
Oh, it's right now I can say it's fundamental because I found it. I mean, before I think I was still searching. I was, of course, very passionate about music and singing, but I was also doing acting and other things. So finding the purpose of the why, like who I'm writing for, who I'm talking to, was really, really fundamental. So right now, being authentic in my message is just I couldn't do it without it. I could never start, making music that does not represent me or this that I'm feeling regarding the future. And I don't think I would be able to write a love song right now, for example. It's just this is so important to me now, and it's so urgent, and it involves us all. It involves, the future of the entire human species, but also all the other species, and I feel like I can't write anything else but this right now.
No, I feel you have to go with your gut. You have to go with your soul. You have to go with your intuition. So how did you come up with the concept of putting music, intertwining music with the environment and music? And how do you go about doing it?
I think it was really inevitable at that point because right in the moment where what I was saying before about Greta Thunberg and 2019 and all the big protests, I had been to a lot of those protests, and I felt like I wanted to do something else, but not just go to the protest or eat plant-based or recycling. I just wanted to do something else. So it was kind of natural. I don't remember if there was one day when I decided, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I think during the course of those months, I simply started writing things that, were really important, like close to my heart. So I started with one song. I remember the first one that was actually a very bad attempt, but it was the first one. It was called Gaia. And then I wrote the second one that was Where We Belong, that I actually released after. And I felt, this is what I want to talk about. So it was a very natural process that started together with all those movements because I was part of it. And then I thought, but will people think that it's, that it's boring, like always talking about the same thing? But then, I started exploring, and there are so many different things to talk about because it's not only, let's not kill nature. And I mean, it's a whole world. I mean, you can talk about the oceans, you can talk about forests and deforestation, you can talk about activism, you can talk about our relationship with an animal, where we stand as humans towards nature. So I felt like, wow, this is endless. And it gave so much inspiration because I thought, oh, maybe I'll just write like 5 songs and then I'm going to be dry, you know. But no, it was, it keeps coming. Like I never feel like I'm out of topics because we're right in the middle of it. And we are the
Yes.
generation that must change this. So I have so much I want to say, and sometimes I feel the songs are not even enough. So I'm thinking of all kinds of ways, you know, around this music project to do even more, like through artwork or the music videos, or who knows, maybe even a short film or something soon, you know, just all the ways we can, and if we can, again, we must.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's interesting with music. With me, I'm like that as well. You start to think, okay, you have a topic, and you want to really bring out the topic, but you're like, how much can I talk about this, or how much can I sing about this? And then, but the inspiration will come to you because it's something that you're supposed to do. I always tell people that I interview that music is our superpower. You know, it's our destiny. It's what we were supposed to do. It elevates. It moves people. People play music when they're angry, sad, you know, joyful, all kinds of things. It can move mountains. So, you know, expressing whatever you need to about the environment through music is a beautiful thing. A couple of years ago, I wrote a song called Mother Earth, you know, about the way people have been treating the earth, and I made it very cinematic because I wanted people to get to realize the things that we're doing to the earth that they need to open their eyes to see. And one of the parts in it is my favorite person.
Hear it. You have to send it to me.
I'll send that to you. And so the part in the song that I love the most is the part where it says, you know, but people will go out into the streets when it's Black Friday and they'll fight for a black screen TV. But what will you have left to put it on? Because if the world is going down, you're not going to have a place to put the television. So I really appreciate the fact that your music focus on the environment. And also, people don't really understand, I think, the whole aspect about animals. I love animals. If I could live in a ranch that had a bunch of animals on it and just be around animals, I would love it. I love cats, dogs, you name it. I love it. And animals are extremely sensitive souls as well, and people just don't understand that. You know, I've had cats all of my life, and I adore my cats. My cats are my babies. I don't have children and stuff like that. Don't plan on having children, but I totally understand it. That's my point. I totally get you, and I understand. Now, with your music, there's a lot of Middle Eastern influence, and by the way, my family on my father's side is from Lebanon. So why put the Middle Eastern influence into music? Yeah.
Yes. No, that was, you know, I don't know if I had previous lives, but if I did, for sure I was somewhere in the Middle East before, because you know what, something just calls you for some reason and you have no idea why. But I remember the first times visiting Egypt with my dad, like in the year 2000 or something. And I just felt home, like somehow there was something about that place, even in Cairo, which is a mess. I mean, that city is a mess and it's super intense. But somehow I felt home, or in the desert, you know, when I was going up and down the desert dunes in Morocco, I felt, wow, this is, I don't know, there was something, even if, Morocco is Maghreb, so it's a little bit, you know, different, but especially in Egypt, I always felt this enormous connection. And I started studying belly dance, actually back in Venice in 2004. It was in a gym, actually, and belly dance was not even a thing in Italy at that point. It was just starting. So I had a couple of teachers, and I was very, you know, I was fascinated with the dance. And but then when I moved to Barcelona in 2006, there, oh my God, belly dance was really exploding at that time. It was the golden years. So many belly dancers. I started, you know, in a big academy, and I studied for years, and then to become an instructor. The Arab influence, of course, in Spain is much bigger, so lots of, venues and places where you could dance and interact with a lot of people from the Middle East. So it was amazing.
Right.
And then I studied in Cairo too with teachers, just did some workshops and festivals there. So I've always been completely in love with their music, their rhythms, the instruments. It's just so attractive to me for some reason. And yeah, but then as I said, it was always like a separate thing for me. So it was a very strange idea, I guess, to decide to mix it with kind of dark alternative sounds. But yeah, it seemed to work quite smoothly. I still think it's kind of a, original, different.
Right.
And I feel it also serves the project in a different way because it's not only okay, I like these two things and I mix them together, but also one of the things that it's at the basis of this project is the union between the contemporary and the ancient somehow, which is always present. I mean, it's present in the in the name of the the goddess, like the ancient goddess, but talking about the future and talking about what's going to happen maybe 200 years from now. So there is this, duality of ancient and contemporary, which is very reflected in the music, I think, because of course, I work alone on Logic with a lot of, electronic stuff, contemporary stuff, but at the same time, then we add, an ancient, I mean, darbuka, of course, the darbuka is not ancient, is new, but, it's a very old instrument. So I love that, and I think the Middle Eastern touch gives that kind of timeless, of course, ethnic appeal that can appeal to other people, other countries. A lot of my fans are sometimes, from Turkey, from India, because they recognize themselves too with some of the sounds, and I really love that.
That's awesome. Now, I'm going to play your song, your latest release, Collapse of an Empire. Tell me what that's about.
Oh, yes. This one was a dark one. Yes. Okay. Collapse of an Empire came out at the end of February, and it's the latest one. I'm going to release another one now for Earth Day. Collapse of an Empire is about the inevitable collapse of all the unsustainable. Everything that can't sustain itself will inevitably collapse. That's the whole metaphor of the song. It was inspired by one of my favorite poems by Shelley, Ozymandias, that talks about this enormous colossus, this statue that stands on feet of clay. So it's a metaphor to say, hey, even if this looks like a giant, it's on feet of clay, and it's just collapsing, and now it's all, on the ground, destroyed. So, I had in mind just simply all those, the evil corporations, as I call them, that just exploit the earth for profit and never, ever take the earth into account when making decisions. And, I'm just thinking they're destined to collapse. I mean, it's it's just not sustainable. They won't last, and people will rebel, and the earth is already rebelling, with climate change and with species loss, so that was the whole thing. And so this empire, of course, is an evil empire of all those only for profit corporations, and we need a big change. So this song was kind of a way of saying we can let it go, we can let them fall, and we will still be here. Nothing will happen to us. We will actually probably thrive without those. So I hope you like it.
All right. Let's play it.
With the smear of
Thanks
was
for the applause.
fantastic.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's an intense one, but I really love the crescendo.
You know, the song, the music reminds me of the band, and your vocals remind me of the band Evanescence. Has there anybody ever said that to you?
Yeah. Several people, they told me, and actually the person I work with for mastering, he's worked with Evanescence a lot, and Amy, yes.
Okay.
So
I get it.
Yes, but I guess the dark atmosphere, but at the same time, a voice that is, more like sweeter and warmer. I guess that's a little bit similar to Evanescence. Yeah.
I love artists that are unique, that are not afraid to speak or sing their truth. Because when we listen to the radio stations these days, it always sounds like it's the same music all day long. And so when I hear something, it can be similar to another artist in the sense of the theme. But I love dark. I love light. I love all kinds of different music. And as I've grown as an artist, one of the things I totally listen to are lyrics more than anything else, because I like to see how people use their words, how they were moved to use certain words. And I'm like, oh, that's an interesting concept. Now, what do you love most about being an artist?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I feel like it's kind of inevitable for me. I don't see myself as anything else but an artist. So I never really thought of what I love about it, because it's never been a choice, because I feel like it just has to be there. I've always been an artist. I've always, been dancing, singing, acting. But I guess what I love the most about it is that, not only I can express myself, but I really get a chance to talk to people through other layers, that don't have to do with just speaking, I feel like music has much more to do with our body, with our body language, than what we actually say. So what I love the most about music is that it has to do more with the unsaid, what you don't say. So you can actually speak through very different layers. So to me, what's most important of doing art is because you speak directly from subconscious to subconscious.
That's right.
To other people. So that's why it's magical. And I think you kind of perceive when it's not done that way. I think the more authentic it is, the more you touch people in their hearts, and the more people will understand that your cause, or why you do it is, inner and it's necessary, than if you just do it for other motivations, So definitely for me is the capacity to speak through my body, through other layers, and not only through the spoken word,
Amen to that. Like I said, music is our superpower. Now, tell me about your upcoming release that'll be out on Earth Day called The Battle.
Yes, so it was actually a change of plans because we have shot the video for Collapse of an Empire that you just heard, but it was my very first experience with green screen because everything is in special effects for this song. Yes. And I had no idea how long that would take. I was a little bit naive. I thought it would be ready sooner, but it's a very long process. So the idea was to release that for Earth Day, but unfortunately I had to postpone that to May. But I still wanted to release something because Earth Day is the most important day of the year for this project, of course. So I decided to release a new song, actually, which is called The Battle, and I'm very, very excited about it. We recorded it just some months ago with my producer here in LA, and it's actually about the indigenous people trying to defend their lands. I felt like I really need to involve that human side too, not only the activism and trying to get people together, but also honoring the people that are trying to defend nature daily and that unfortunately sometimes get killed for it. I was doing some research these days because I wanted to create a little visualizer for the song that is a little, homage to all those people that have died in these years. Because they were trying to defend their lands, and most of them are indigenous people, and I had no idea they were so many. I was doing this research, and it's crazy. Like even in the past 2 or 3 years, there are hundreds of people that were just killed by illegal loggers, and while they were trying to defend their forest, So yeah, I'm learning many things these days, and it's really tragic, but they are real heroes of today. So I wanted to simply create an anthem, for them, and that's gonna be The Battle for Earth Day.
Beautiful. Now you're also organizing an important Earth Day event in LA, and you'll be speaking together with other prominent artists. What is the event about?
Yes, so the event is called Arts for a Better Earth. So, of course, it's very close to everything I'm doing. And I've been organizing it together with my husband, who's an eco-journalist, and my colleague and friend, Jane Elizabeth, who's a public speaker and influencer. The event is sponsored by Soho House, and we're going to do it here in Los Angeles, in downtown. And it's a panel discussion about what the arts can do for a better Earth, for a better future on Earth. We thought it would be a great idea to bring some artists/activists that are using their voices currently, to promote a better future. And it's amazing. I mean, of course, I wanted to represent that little slice, with the music, but then we have a couple of filmmakers, we have a writer, we have a super young actu that is now participating with reverb in Billie Eilish's concerts to make them greener, and so a lot of very, very interesting figures representing different kinds of art. And I really hope it's going to be the first one of many, because I've seen at least in the last year or so, year and a half, so many new organizations being born about, music and recycling or Reverb doing so much, for example, now to make the concerts like really eco-friendly and zero impact, or at least the least impact as possible. DJs for climate action and music declares emergency. So many organizations. I'm so excited, and a lot of them are actually backing the event too. So we're super excited. So if you're in LA, let me know.
Okay.
I can invite you or whoever is listening, but they have to contact me because it's also invite only because it's Soho House. It's a private club, so you need an invite. But let me know.
That is just awesome. It's great when you can do things for the environment because people just don't understand how important the trees are, how important the earth is for our oxygen and for many other things as well. It is so, so important. It is the reason that we are here. It's just, my God, people just, I just feel like people just need to educate themselves. A lot of people don't believe in climate change, which is odd because it's right in your face. You can see the things going around in the world that would make you say, hey, there's something to this climate change thing. But it's just about educating yourself and just getting out there and learning more about our surroundings. Now, the last thing is, what is something that an inspirational quote, a message, a passage that you like to use on a daily basis or when you're feeling down to push you forward?
More than just one quote, I think I always try to surround myself by the people that inspire me, even if they are far away, or maybe they are, celebrities or people that I can't be in touch with, but I surround myself with their word and what they do, I maybe reread something they wrote or they said. I think it's very important to keep feeding yourself, because when you're always giving and making, sometimes you just feel empty, so you have to refill the cup, and but I am constantly inspired, by the work of, Jane Goodall or Earthling Ed, like all these people that are doing so much for the planet and animals right now. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's incredible. Or I'm meeting so many environmentalists here in the LA area. They are so inspiring to me. Some months ago, we met this amazing Italian person, Andrea Crosta, and he's the lead of an organization called Earthlings International, where they really go to the bottom of the environmental issues, which most of the times are connected with environmental crime most of the time is connected with so many other crimes. So they are really the heroes trying to look for the higher people at the highest responsibilities, for all kinds of environmental crime. So incredibly inspiring people. And, when I feel less inspired, I simply try to go back, to those books or those videos and those things that inspired me in the first place. And maybe I don't do as much with, videos about factory farming or animals, because those are so hard to watch, unfortunately, that sometimes I just can't go back to them. I already eat like fully plant-based, so I'm very happy about my decision. And those, sometimes it's good to rewatch them to feel, okay, this is why I made this decision, this is why I'm doing this, but they are so hard to watch that sometimes I feel, okay, I already know that, I don't need to watch those again to feel re-inspired, But it's amazing. So many people are doing so much, and we're really creating a big movement, and I hope it will make a difference. I really want to be at least part of the generation that saved the planet and didn't just give the last, killed it completely. So, yeah, I really, really hope. And, our children or grandchildren will really look at us for this period and what we did, because we still have the possibility to save the savable. And if we don't do it in the next 5 or 7 years, unfortunately, not everything will be gone, but unfortunately a lot of species will be gone, and climate will be more and more extreme. So I think they will look at us and say, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they save it when they could? So I want to try to be among the ones that tried.
Well, Inanna, it was great chatting with you. I learned a lot more. I love your music. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And I'll follow you. I can't wait to hear your latest release. I think it's going to be amazing, just like the song that we played today. But thanks again, and hopefully one day we can do an Instagram Live.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Let me know. Thank you so much for the chat. It was great chatting with you, and I hope we can stay in touch.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll send you my song. Definitely. We should collaborate on something, because I'm all about doing social impact message songs, albums, and all that stuff. That's my thing. So let's talk about doing something.
That sounds great. And I'll wait for your Mother Earth song. I can't wait to hear it.
All right. Thank you so much. And that was Chatting with Nat, with singer-songwriter, belly dancer, environmentalist Inanna. If you want to find her, she's at www.inannamusic.com. She's on Instagram, Inanna_music. She's on Facebook, Inanna Music Official. She's on YouTube, Inanna Music, and Twitter is Inanna_music. And she also has press links. You can look at them at the bottom of the until next time on Chatting with Nat. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.